Hello, my name is Yumna Kazi, and I'm a sixth grader at Al Huda Islamic School in Hawthorne, California. The title of my project is Cover It Up, exploring which ground cover best stops soil erosion. Soil erosion is one of the major environmental problems facing the world today. Soil is essential for human life, and without it, we will not have plants, fruits, vegetables, and millions of microorganisms that call soil their home. Earth's surface is covered with soil, but soil does not always stay in one place, and it is moved to various places due to wind, water, and other climatic conditions. Some of this soil is washed into rivers, streams, and oceans. The process of soil worn away by climate conditions is called soil erosion. The effects of soil erosion go beyond the loss of fertile land. It has led to increased pollution and sedimentation in streams and rivers, clogging these waterways and causing declines in fish and other species. And degraded lands are also often less able to hold onto water, which can worsen flooding. My purpose for conducting this experiment was to explore which ground cover best prevents or minimizes soil erosion. I hypothesized that if 5 ways to prevent soil erosion are tested to see which best prevents soil erosion, then cover crops, grass, will work the best at preventing soil erosion. Here is a list of my materials that I used for my project. For my experiment, I cut out a large rectangle from the side of 6 2-liter plastic bottles and laid them down in a 15-degree angle to resemble a hilly surface. I put soil only without any ground covering in one bottle, and I covered the soil on the remaining 5 bottles with mulch, grass, pebbles, fallen leaves, and sedum. I placed a cup underneath each bottle's opening to collect the drain water and the eroded soil. I set this up in my patio so this way each bottle would get the same amount of sun and the same environmental conditions. I gave 3 ounces of water every day to all 6 bottles. I measured the water in milliliters and the soil in grams every 2 days for 18 days and recorded this data into tables. This graph represents the amount of soil that was eroded every 2 days, and this graph shows the amount of soil that was collected over time. This graph represents the amount of water that was collected every 2 days, and the amount of water that was collected over time is shown in this graph. This graph represents the total amount of soil that was collected over 18 days for each ground covering, and the total amount of water that was collected over 18 days for each ground covering is shown in this graph. Based on the data collected, I concluded that grass is the most effective in preventing soil erosion, and because it eroded the least amount of soil and retained the most amount of water. Soil without any ground covering lost the most amount of soil and retained the least amount of water. In summary, any ground cover is better than no ground cover, and ground covering plants like grass and sedum are the best choice at preventing soil erosion. Thank you.